Hi all, please subscribe the channel for more videos. Sociology of Education, MEd 3rd semester TNTEU, syllabus oriented class. Unit 4, Education and Democracy. In this class, first I will discuss about national integration. And finally, I will discuss about international understanding. Let's begin with national integration. Education for national integration. National integration is the bond and togetherness between people regardless of their caste, creed, religion, or gender. It is the feeling of oneness, brotherhood, and social unity under communities and societies in a country. Education for national integration. India is a vast country with different languages, religions, different castes, and different communities. Despite all these diversities, there is a strong uniting bond that enables us to live together peacefully. It is this feeling of oneness that constitutes the very basis of national integration. After independence, however, some political freedom has brought in its wake new forces of fanaticism, which threaten to destroy high concept of one country and one people. The force of disintegration already gathered strength, and now we need a national integration. Through education, only the weapon to fight against these disintegrating forces like political disintegration, religious disintegration, language disintegration, like that. And through education, it breeds the seeds of feeling of oneness in our minds. Concept of national integration. Concept of national integration refers to the feeling of oneness among the citizens of a nation. It is a sense of national unity, solidarity among the people of the country. National integration is the cementing force that binds the citizen of a country into a unified entity. According to National Integration Committee, national integration is a psychological and educational process involving the development of feeling of unity, solidarity, and cohesion in the heart of the people. And national integration is a sense of common citizenship and feeling of loyalty of the nation. National integration is always a positive aspect. Through national integration, it reduces the social, cultural, and economic difference or inequalities and strengthens national unity. Solidarity is a feeling which inspires the citizen to rise above the narrow self-centered activities which work in unity and cooperation for national development. Solidarity will inspire the working unity and cooperation for national development. National integration is a mental attitude, development of mental climate that would help react in terms of oneness, irrespective of language, caste, and religion of the people. Now let's check what is the need of national integration. The spirit of nationalism is needed for all nations, big and small, rich and poor, secular and religious. They need spirit of nationalism. How this spirit of nationalism will encourage? It is essential for bringing harmony among the people of diverse outlook. It is also needed for developing spirit of mutual tolerance and understanding. As far as India is concerned, national integration is a imperative on following grounds. National integration is needed to build a national mind by curbing the communal conflict which tends to disunite us. National integration imperative to meet perpetual threat of foreign as well as internal regionalism, communalism, linguism, and racialism, etc. In India, we see opposing forces are operating harmoniously because these forces are operating harmoniously due to nationalism. To maintain this harmony, national integration is needed. In recent times, we have constant challenges to peaceful existence and to ideal of unity in diversity from anti-national and terrorist forces. Under these circumstances, national integration is inevitable to reinforce the unity and integrity of the nations. India is the biggest democratic country in the world. Elements like communalism, regionalism, etc. have started tightening its grip on our democracy. National integration is the needed in this context for fulfillment of democracy. A sense of oneness and national solidarity is needed for any nation for attaining economic development. It is more so for India due to fast growing population size. National integration is imperative to protect our constitutional values such as democracy, secularism, socialism, equality, justice, etc., and to sustain political integration of the country. Challenges to national integration. Religious fundamentalism. Sense of addiction and religious narrow-mindedness by some people in different communities pose serious threat to our national integration. Regional sentiments. Political parties formed on regional basis often stand for regional loyalties and threat people from other part of the country as outsiders. These regional considerations go against national integration. The caste system, caste prejudices, caste based politics, etc., have created clashes and enmity among different sections of the society. All these have weakened the feeling of oneness among the people. India is a land of many languages. Language and culture are inseparable. The relative importance of different language in national life created feeling of cultural inferiority in many linguistic groups. Another threat to national integration is classism. Economic and social class differences are prevalent throughout India. Many political parties encourage class hatred to the extent that various class fight for their own interest even in the cost of national interest. Narrow politics. India is a multi-party state. Political parties have been formed on regional, communal, and personal consideration. In order to achieve their own selfish ends, these parties create political crisis, instability, which go against national interest. Unemployment. It causes frustration, complexes, conflicts, restless, and discontentment. The frustrated youth is attracted to strikes, unruly mob terrorism, unlawful activities, etc., which threaten our unity. These are the challenges and threat of national integration. By education, how to improve the national integration and how to unite the people of the country. Education programs that are directed for achieving the goals of national integration. Education is a great force and effective means of national integration. The term education for national integration implies that education should take up responsibility of sense of love, devotion to one's own country, instilling the feelingness of oneness in the mind of the people. Education should implant a sense of patriotism in the heart of young generation. Education nurtures the sentiments of nationalhood and attempt to string together people of different communities and different regions, different languages and different tradition and customs. By education, familiarize students with all the various aspects of national life through appropriate curricular inputs. All the children should be given knowledge about the important events and our national moments. Education should reorganize to teach the essential unity in the diversity of national life, and it should inculcate the qualities of communal harmony and human fellow feelings. Adopt and implement a national system of education invariably throughout the country. India should be taught at all levels of emphasizing its unity, diversity of religions, languages, tradition, and way of life and festivals, racial characteristics and customs, etc. We should teach the students about the history of India and different religions, languages, and tradition of the India to understand the diversity of this country. Encourage learning of different Indian languages. Introduce national values such as democracy, secularism, equality, justice, fraternity, etc. through appropriate educational interventions programs. Celebrate the national festivals, birthdays of national leaders in the education institution colorfully. Geographical and cultural diversity of nations should be appropriately integrated to different school subjects. Encourage interstate exchange of students and teachers. Morning assembly, singing of national anthem, national song, oath, etc. should be made essential part of school schedule. Co-curricular activities such as Arts Fest, Sports, NCC, NSS, Scout and Guides, tours and excursions, national level arts and sports competition, exhibitions and flyers, hobby clubs, student publication, etc. are conducive for strengthening national integration. Through proper education, national integration is possible. National integration makes the nation strong and organized. It holds the people of various religions, sections, races, civilization, and culture together. Now let's move to next topic, education for international understanding. International understanding aims to develop mutual respect, empathy, cooperation between different nations. International understanding implies mutual understanding, faith, and respect among the various nations or countries of the world. Due to facilities for rapid communication, transportation, all the countries of the world have come closer to one another. Now, anything happen in one country inevitably has its repercussions in the other countries as well. This has mutually good and cordial relations amongst the countries of the world, and this is termed as international understanding. Through international understanding, different countries of the world be united through mutual respect, empathy, and cooperation. International understanding is needed to prevent world wars. It will maintain one's sovereignty. It strengthens democratic principles. It develops backward nations. It develops network with other countries. It promotes human welfare. International understanding can be developed only through the right education. Like national integration, international understanding also developed through education. Education will provide awareness for healthy attitudes, create desirable interest, and promote critical thinking and appreciation among the students. It is the responsibility of educational institute to generate a suitable atmosphere in which children can develop the feeling of oneness and world unity. Without education, harmonious and conflict-free human society is not possible. Education has a crucial role in playing the groundwork of achieving international understanding. Peace begins in the mind of the people, and it is in the young minds that future of the world rests. Education create a culture of peace and leading to harmonious and conflict-free human society. Education for international understanding means an education which will provide a loyalty to world citizenship. There are some ways and means of organizing education for promoting feeling of internationalism, and the teacher play a vital role in contributing international understanding. Educational planners must include following principle on which education of international understanding should be based. Interdependence should be stressed. Need of all nations can be better satisfied if there is an international cooperation understanding. Developing and mutual cooperation. Always remembers that where there is a tolerance and mutual cooperation, there is hardly any distrust and suspicion, and ultimately peace will prevail in such condition. There is a mutual cooperation, peace will be prevail in that such conditions. Redefining patriotism in modern context. Patriotism, in its narrow sense, is very dangerous as it may come in the way of world peace. The love for one's country should not stand in the way of the wider loyalty to humanity. So the term should be redefined and reinterpreted to realize internationalism. Elimination of fear. Through fear, mutual distrust, and ultimately to war. So fear should be removed through proper education. Belief in universal freedom. This is the age of democracy which believes that freedom is a birthright of everybody. Our education should be so designed as to infuse us to democratic ideals and spirit of man. Emphasizing correct values, democratic values, group responsibility, cooperation, tolerance, and mutual understanding should be stressed in the curriculum. For national integration, patriotism is needed, but in the case of international understanding, curriculum should enable our students to learn that Earth is the home of man and other living things, to gain knowledge about the world we live in, to learn how to promote better understanding of interdependence of the world, to inculcate respect for all major religion of the world, to know something about long strength of mankind and to replace conflicts with cooperation, to develop a desire and simple skills. Education is for developing character, knowledge and skills. The knowledge of various culture of the world should be enabled in the curriculum. Instruction in various school subjects, literature, art, language, science, history, economics, philosophy, mathematics, etc. Face-to-face contact, international camps, conducting cultural and study tours, arranging visits and excursions to foreign students, international youth festival, exchange of teachers and students, all will enable international understanding. These co-curricular activities for international understanding. Celebrating day of international importance such as UN Day, Human Rights Day, World Health Day, etc. Celebrating birthday of international figures, great human beings belongs to different countries and religions. Arranging debate on international issues, etc. Asking students to subscribe to the funds raised in the aid of foreign countries in which might have been afflicted by some natural calamities like earthquakes, floods, etc. Inviting foreign scholars. Role of teacher in international understanding. Broad outlook. The teacher must have a broad outlook among his students. The teacher should have an international outlook and world mindedness to promote international understanding among his students. To understand man as a man, the major objective of the teacher should be enable the children to understand man as a man, first then as Indian, American, Jew, Hindu, or any other. First, students should understand man as a man. Wedding out the idea of violence and war, the teacher has to keep in mind that since war begins in the minds of a man, it is in the minds of a man that defense of peace must be constructed. Every person should grow up with faith in man and courage in himself. Teachers should make a awareness to all students about the consequence of violence and war. Emphasizing peace, teacher must emphasize that maintenance of peace is only panacea for all the ills of the present sick world. Teachers should make aware of all students to understand the world will cure through peace. The major task of the teacher is to build the peace in the mind of the man. If there is a peace, it will cure the world. Educating adult society. The teacher should make an all out effort to educate the adult society for peaceful coexistence and international understanding. Correct interpretation. Teachers should not give any biased view of other countries. Teachers should give correct facts, correct knowledge, correct interpretation of history and culture, lifestyle of other countries. Use of effective methods of teaching. Teachers should teach in such a way that ideal of world citizenship, live and let live may be developed. Obstacle in the way of international understanding. Racial and basic ideological barriers. This refers to the idea of racial superiority and inferiority. Some countries may be developed and underdeveloped. Some countries' government forms is democratic and totalitarian. Freedom and colonialism. These all may conflict between the different countries and these distrust that may lead to war. Inequality of the countries. All countries of the world are not equal in size, resources, growth rate, national income, scientific and technological progress. Inequality of the nation lead to the generation of inferiority complex among the underdeveloped countries. Secrecy over nuclear strength of nation. Some countries of the world possess nuclear strength, but they are concealing their nuclear weapons. That will make the result is Cold War. Nationalism and superiority. The idea of my country right and wrong, strong feeling of nationalism, feeling of superiority over others, etc. are dangerous in the way of international understanding. Fear of imbalance of power. Some country unnecessarily develop this idea and prepare for anticipatory for this reason. High of frustration, lack of social democracy, and failure of political democracy stand as a barriers to international amity. Linguistic barriers, absence of common language, misconception generated by false propaganda, and lack of proper and correct information cultivate distrust among nations. That concludes education for international understanding. Right education is necessary for international understanding and national integration. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe for more classes. Please send your valuable feedback. Keep learning. This is me, Salim.